Hey 49ers fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Chat Sports, and today we have some grades to put on the 49ers' big win 36-26 over the Arizona Cardinals yesterday. So we're going to be grading offense, defense, special teams, and then a bunch of individual players as well. Quick overall thought though, maybe the Cardinals just have our number. Yet again, a hard-fought game against a divisional opponent who we should have beaten handily, and yet still get the win by 10 points. Let's jump into our grades, starting with the offense. How about a B+? Early on, when it was 9-0, oh my goodness, the offense was struggling, and it was like no Kittle, so we're going to be having another bad day, and of course Sanders was a little up and down with the injury, and yet Ross Dwelley stepped up. Jimmy Garoppolo had a career day, 4 touchdowns, 424 yards, and Deebo Samuel had his best game as a Niner. He has 16 catches over the past 2 weeks, 8 catches today or yesterday for 134 yards. The one thing, though, that's going to keep this grade down, sitting at a B+, running game, basically non-existent, where they have 34 total rushing yards. No Matt Breida. Should have a factor, but not really be a massive effect because you still have Coleman and Mostert. I feel like the Cardinals just did a very good job shutting down the run because they only ran the ball, 19 times the entire game, so the running game was not there, and Jimmy Garoppolo did have 2 really bad throws that resulted in interceptions. Talk about the one to the linebacker Jordan Hicks in the red zone. Just didn't even see him, but he was right there in the throwing lane. And then that kind of behind the back, I guess it was this way, to Dwelley on the right side, which was tipped and then intercepted. So Garoppolo, as great as he was, a couple of missed throws here and there. We'll get to his grade in a second. But overall, still a B+. And still an offense that has proven time and time again, we are a run-first team, but if we can't run the football, we are not afraid to throw it down your throats, and Jimmy Garoppolo is the quarterback to do that. And they only had allowed 2 sacks of Jimmy Garoppolo, too, so they did a lot better job when they did the Seahawks last week. So overall, obviously a great day for the offense, B+, 36 points. Anytime you do that is a huge, huge win. Running game needs to start picking things up, especially getting into December, but overall right now, we'll give them a B+. All right, hey, hashtag 49ers. We're going to get a mailbag video later on this week, so go down below, use the hashtag 49ers in a comment, ask a question. I'll answer it in a mailbag or in a live Q&A most likely later on this week. Defense, back-to-back weeks now. The defense has gotten a C+ in my grades, and back-to-back weeks, they're good, but it's not the same defense that we saw over the first 7-8 games of the season. They got absolutely torched early. When it was 9-0, I mean, Kyler was up and down the field. He was running, he was throwing. Not the secondary, honestly, played its worst game of the entire year. The secondary struggled mightily. I know the Richard Sherman pass interference call is kind of up in the air, but that still led to the first points of the game. And I talk about a guy like Jimmy Ward, I'm going to talk about later on. He struggled mightily in pass coverage and also in tackling, giving up a bad touchdown later on in the game. The defense did get to Murray. I think it was 4 sacks. Was it 4? Yeah, it was 4 total sacks, but they didn't get to him enough, and Kyler played very, very well. I know the Cardinals are not good this year, but they're going to be a good football team going forward because Kyler Murray is just going to keep getting better and better. But again, I'm not going to panic on the defense. I got to give them the grade of a C+ because we got to be honest with ourselves. They did struggle, but this is the second week in a row where this has not been the dominant 49er defense that we've expected to see, that we know and love so far this year. And so the hope is start picking things up going forward, and they still are a good defense, but it's just a day where you're like, man, they really didn't play that well overall. Really not a lot of words to describe it, just not a great day by the Niner defense. All right, subscribe. You guys should now subscribe to our 49ers Only YouTube channel here at Chat Sports. Click the red subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate that. We're up to 8,200, 300 people, so really appreciate you guys subscribing. Be sure if you have not subscribed to what is the best 49ers channel on YouTube, I'll just say that. Go ahead, click the red subscribe button, and join the 49er club we got going on here, the 49er fan base we're growing here on YouTube. Okay, we had to do special teams because it's part of our list. A-, McLaughlin made his only field goal, so positive there. Richie James Jr. didn't fumble on any kick returns. He got a 27-yard kick return, so fine there. You know, A-, it's whatever. It's special teams, not a worry right there. What is a worry is if you guys are still not betting on the 49ers, because I've told you every single week to use our partner, chatsports.com/bet, BetDSI, promo code 49ers, get 120% deposit bonus. And again, I tell you each week, Niners win games, you bet on the Niners, you're going to win money, and if you're still waiting and waiting and waiting, man, I mean, what is that, 10 weeks now that you've been missing out on winning money minus the Seahawks game, so 9 weeks. Again, BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet, use the promo code 49ers, 120% deposit bonus. Still a lot of games to bet on for the 49ers. I encourage you guys to jump on the winning train here. All right, let's go to some individual grades, starting with, as always, Jimmy Garoppolo. B+. And I think this was similar to the grade I gave him against the Seahawks because it was an up-and-down game. Now, you will see the stats, and you'll go, oh my goodness, 424 yards and 4 touchdowns. He was incredible. He was. Do not get that wrong. He was really, really good. But I cannot give him an A because of the interceptions. Again, really bad one to Jordan Hicks, the linebacker, and then the behind throw to Ross Dwelley that was tipped. Those are two that are on Jimmy Garoppolo, and he knows that. But then again, he still had a couple of drops by wide receivers. I think about the 4th and 5 play early on in this game in plus territory. The wheel route to Mostert on the right side that was perfectly thrown, and he dropped. But overall, Jimmy Garoppolo still had 4 touchdowns and 424 yards. Through the game-winning touchdown, the game-winning drive, he has shown time and time again when the running game does not want to produce, which has been rare, but it's happened a couple of games this year. He will literally, when we don't run the football, it almost guarantees a 4-touchdown game from Jimmy Garoppolo, which is fine by me. He keeps proving all those haters and doubters preseason saying, oh, we're so great minus the quarterback. No. We're so great. And a big reason because of that is Jimmy Garoppolo. 34-45, 424, 4 touchdowns, and 2 picks. What grade would you guys give the 49, or would you give Jimmy Garoppolo, excuse me? Go ahead and type your grades down below for Jimmy Garoppolo. I say B+. What say you guys? Keep going here. Oh, man, Tevin Coleman. Whew. D-, but this counts for all 3 running backs, really, because Coleman did nothing. 34 yards rushing is crazy. The fact that they are unable to move the football in back-to-back weeks. Overall, as a team, 19 total carries for all running backs. That's it, 34 yards. And Coleman himself, 12 carries for 14 yards. Now, he did some things in the receiving game, which we know Tevin Coleman to do, but are we really that dependent on Matt Breida? Like, is Matt Breida really the reason we run the football? I don't think so. But at the same time, past 2 weeks, whew, up and down, and a lot more down than up. As Tevin Coleman, again, D- is my grade as the running backs have struggled for the past couple of weeks. They need to have a big 150-yard rushing day on Sunday night against Green Bay to kind of perk back up my faith and trust in the running game. Kyle Juszczyk, though, he's a part of the running game in a sense, but was a part of the passing game as a fullback in this one. He gets an A+. Who would have thought that Kyle Juszczyk would be the number 2 receiver in this game? Number 2, literally 7 catches on 7 targets for 63 yards. They kept throwing him the football, and he kept making really, really impressive catches. Now, obviously, it's great to have him back from injury and the whole blocking and the run game, but we forget that Juszczyk, he's the best fullback in the entire league, and it's because he can catch the ball out of the backfield like a tight end and is a bowling ball / runaway truck to try and tackle in the open space. Great to have Juszczyk back. I want to give him some love there. Gets an A+. This is an easy question, but I need some comment reinforcement down below. Kyle Juszczyk's the best fullback in the game, right? Right? He is. Trust me. Type Y down below for yes. Type N down below for no if you're crazy and don't think so. But in the game today, because the fullbacks are all gone, Juszczyk remains. He is the best. How about Deebo Samuel? This is why we drafted the guy. A+ for Deebo Samuel. He had himself a career day, 10 targets, 8 catches, 134 yards, no touchdowns, but he kept getting open and kept being reliable for Jimmy Garoppolo on 2nd and 3rd down. His entire day is a microcosm of that one catch in traffic on the left side on that speed out when there were 2 receivers there, and he got pass interference, and he bobbled it and then caught it and brought it down. Unbelievable day from Deebo Samuel. Again, this is probably what you're going to be getting more and more and more as he gets more and more comfortable because they took away Sanders to a degree. Deebo stepped up, did not get plagued with those bad drops we've seen him do in the past. He was fantastic. He's basically a mini Emmanuel Sanders. Like, you do realize that, right? Deebo is just Emmanuel Sanders light. He's just a not as good version. And when you get both of them at their best level, you talk about peak Sanders plus peak Deebo, whoo! It's going to be really, really good. He was great, and he will be great going forward. What grade would you guys give Deebo Samuel yesterday? I said A+. Was there anything you saw from Deebo that you didn't like? I guess if there's something, you could type it down below. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. All right, this normally would be a spot filled by George Kittle. Kittle, again, still out with that injury. I expect him to be back next week, but I'm not going to guarantee that. We got to see how the week of practice goes. But Ross Dwelley filled in well, filled in admirably for George Kittle, especially in the red zone. 2 receiving touchdowns down inside the 20-yard line of the Cardinals. Now, not crazy stats, 4 catches, 14 yards, but fantasy experts kept telling us during the week, start Ross Dwelley in for George Kittle. He's going to ball out, and I didn't listen, and then he would have had a really great fantasy day. So, shout out to Ross Dwelley. He's a future tight end here, obviously learning from George Kittle, and if he needs to keep filling in for Kittle while Kittle is out, he's not George Kittle, but he's at least a decent backup and had 2 catches or 2 touchdowns, which were big in this game. All right, question. Remember, it was all panic, doom, and gloom last week after losing to the Seahawks. Are the Niners back to being the best team in the NFC East? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. They're having a great test on Sunday night as they take on the Green Bay Packers. If you guys have not subscribed yet to our 49ers Only Chat Sports YouTube channel, I'll say it again. We're building almost to 10,000 subscribers. We're almost there. We'll probably have it by the end of the new year. So if you're not subscribed yet, you like these videos, go ahead and click the red subscribe button, the notification bell as well. We would greatly appreciate that. I was thinking about the defenders that I would try and give grades for, and the pass rush was fine, and they got some sacks on Kyler Murray, and of course, Fred Warner had like 10 tackles, and I thought about going at Richard Sherman or Emmanuel Mosley, and Witherspoon played a little bit here, but I decided to just rest on one defender who kept catching my eye. It was Jimmy Ward. I'm watching the game, and I'm like, man, I've not talked about Jimmy Ward at all because he's been doing a great job. This was not a great game for Jimmy Ward. I'm going to give him a C+. Now, the stats, again, 7 tackles, 6 were solo, 1 sack, 0 tackles for loss, a couple pass defenses. Fine, right? I'm telling you, the eye test, though, and I think a lot of you guys saw this as well, missed a lot of coverages, blew a couple coverages there, and was not himself in the open field and tackling. I think it was the Murray touchdown run on the left side. I'm trying to remember, where was the screen pass? It was that... It was one of the goal-to-go touchdown passes on the left side, and he had him dead to rights and missed the tackle, and you kind of look at that and a couple of other plays, it's like, not the best day from Jimmy Ward, who's been fantastic so far this year. Like, don't get me wrong, Jimmy Ward has been great and a real part of the secondary, but maybe this is just a microcosm of the secondary as a whole, not being as great as we've seen over the past couple of weeks, and I think you could tie all these grades, really, in the fact that the Arizona Cardinals have figured out a way to play the 49ers pretty well, and they actually have done the best job so far the first 2 games that they played the 49ers this season of stopping our running game and being able to move the football on this defense. Now, is that just the Cardinals? Is that just Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray, or have they actually found something? I don't know. We'll see. But the Cardinals, I think we got to give a little bit of credit to them for playing so well against a 49ers team in which the 49ers were heavy favorites going into this game. All right, again, mailbag or live Q&A going on later this week. Use your hashtag 49ers and subscribe to the channel. That way you're notified when that is happening. All the time we have for today on our grading video, a big 36-26 win. The Niners are 9-1. Basically wrapped up a playoff spot today, although did not guarantee technically they did. But they're going to be a playoff team. The question is now, how high will they be seeded? A great answer to that will come on Sunday night against the Green Bay Packers. We'll see how they do. Plenty more videos coming in this week. For Chat Sports, I'm Thomas Mott. Happy Victory Monday here in the 49ers Report. Signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.